Please, please don't die on me. Maya Smith's hands were covered in blood, not hers, his. The man slumped against the dumpster wasn't responding anymore. His eyes had rolled back and his breathing, that wet, rattling sound, was getting worse. Sir! Stay with me. Maya slapped his face lightly. Come on. She checked her watch through the blood smeared on the crystal, 6:52 a.m. 8 minutes until she was officially fired from Lincoln Elementary, 8 minutes until 7 years of teaching second graders disappeared because Principal Hoffman had a zero-tolerance policy and Maya had exactly 0 excuses left. The man's eyes fluttered open, gray and sharp, piercing through the pain. Leave me, he whispered. Save yourself. Maya looked at him, past the filth, past the torn clothes, past the fact that he was bleeding in an alley behind a Chinese market at dawn. She saw something in those gray eyes. Desperation, terror, and recognition, like he knew exactly what this moment was costing her. Not a chance, Maya said, pulling out her phone. She had no idea that the man dying in her arms was about to change her life forever. Before we continue with Maya's story, if you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, hit that subscribe button right now. This story will remind you why compassion matters, and your subscription helps us share more stories like this with the world. Now, let's go back to where it all began. The coffee was cold, but Maya didn't care. She gulped it anyway. She was standing at the red light on Morrison Street with her grade book tucked under one arm and Emma's permission slip crumpled in her other hand. 6:47 a.m., 13 minutes to make it to Lincoln Elementary, 13 minutes before Principal Hoffman made good on his threat. One more tardy, Miss Smith, and you're done. I don't care if your car exploded. Teachers set the example. Her phone buzzed, her sister Jenna. Maya, about watching Emma tonight, I can't. Brad's got a work thing. Maya's stomach dropped. Jenna, I have parent-teacher conferences until 9. Sorry, I gotta go. Maya closed her eyes and calculated. Mrs. Kim was in Florida and the after-school program closed at 6, Emma was 7 and couldn't stay alone. The light changed. That's when she heard it, not loud, not obvious, a sound most people would miss in the morning traffic, a whimper. Maya's head turned toward the alley beside the market. At first, she saw nothing, just dumpsters, cardboard boxes, and the usual urban decay. Suddenly, a hand reaching out from behind the dumpster caught her attention. Maya's feet moved before her brain could stop them. Behind the dumpster, slumped against the brick wall, was a man stubbled, his clothes torn, jeans and a jacket that might have been expensive once, soaked through from last night's storm. He was clutching his side, blood seeping through his fingers and his face chalk white. Oh my God! Maya dropped to her knees, her work pants instantly soaked. Sir? Can you hear me? The man's eyes opened and he tried to speak but instead coughed blood onto his lips. I'm calling 911. No. His hand shot out, gripping her wrist with shocking strength. No hospitals, they'll find me. Who? Who's going to find you? Please, his voice cracked. Just leave me, you don't understand. Maya looked at the blood, looked at her watch, 6:49 a.m., 11 minutes more. She thought about Emma, about rent due in 6 days, about student loans, about the evaluation Hoffman had scheduled. She thought about 7 years of teaching, of bulletin boards and parent conferences. Then she looked at the man's face, at the terror in those gray eyes, and she made the choice that would destroy everything. I'm not leaving you, Maya said, pulling out her phone. What she couldn't know, what she couldn't possibly imagine was that this homeless man would change her life. But first, she had to keep him alive. What's your name? Maya pressed her scarf against the wound on his side and he gasped in pain. Daniel. Okay, I'm Maya. What happened to you? I think I fell last night. He coughed again. Maya's hands shook as she dialed 911. No. Daniel grabbed her phone, nearly dropping it. Please, no ambulance, they'll ask questions. They will, he tried completing. Daniel! Stay with me. Maya caught him as he slumped forward, his weight surprisingly heavy and solid. It was definitely not the emaciated frame she'd expected from someone living on the streets. Her phone buzzed, it was Principal Hoffman. Maya stared at the screen, at the name that meant her paycheck, her health insurance and Emma's stability. She declined the call. Okay, no hospital. Maya's mind raced. There's a free clinic at 7th Street and they don't ask questions. Can you walk? Daniel tried to nod but failed. We're gonna try. On 3. Maya slipped her arm under his shoulders. 1, 2. He screamed when she pulled him up, the sound echoing off the alley walls. I'm sorry, Maya gasped. But we have to move, you need help. Daniel's face was gray now, sweat pouring down his temples despite the cold morning. They made it 3 steps before he stumbled. Can't, he gasped. Can't do it. Yes, you can. Maya's voice was fierce. Daniel, look at me. You are not dying in this alley. Do you understand? Not today. Something in his eyes focused, sharpened. Why, he whispered. Why are you doing this? Because someone has to. They started moving again, each step an agony. Maya's phone kept on ringing but she ignored it. 6 more blocks. By block 2, Daniel was barely conscious and Maya's muscles were screaming. By block 3, a woman walking her dog stopped. Do you need help? Please call the clinic on 7th Street, Maya gasped. Tell them we're coming. Puncture wound and possible internal bleeding. The woman pulled out her phone immediately. By block 4 Maya's phone had 15 missed calls. By block 5 Daniel collapsed completely. No. Maya caught him, lowering him to sit against a storefront. Daniel, stay with me. We're almost there. His eyes opened and focused on her face. You're losing your job, he said, he slurred. Because of me. Doesn't matter. Yes, it does. No. Maya cupped his face in her bloody hands. It doesn't. Now get up because we're finishing this. She didn't know where the strength came from. Adrenaline, desperation, or pure stubborn will, but they made it to block 6. The 7th Street Free Clinic had its doors open, the woman with the dog had called ahead and a nurse was waiting with a wheelchair. They rushed Daniel inside. Maya collapsed against the wall in the waiting room, her hands shaking, covered in blood and her work clothes ruined. Her phone buzzed, a text from Beth, her classroom assistant. Maya, they're cleaning out your desk. Hoffman is livid, where are you? Maya looked at the message, at the blood on her hands, at the door where they'd taken Daniel. She typed back, tell Hoffman I quit. Then she turned off her phone. The 7th Street Free Clinic smelled like antiseptic and defeat. Maya helped Daniel into a plastic chair then approached the receptionist, a tired-looking woman with kind eyes and an ask me about God button on her scrubs. He needs help, he's hurt. The receptionist didn't even look up. Insurance? He doesn't have any. ID? Daniel's voice came from behind her. Lost it. Now the receptionist looked up, her expression softening with recognition, not of Daniel specifically but of his situation. She'd seen hundreds like him. Fill out this form, we'll get him in as soon as we can. How long? Could be 20 minutes or 2 hours. We're understaffed. Maya looked at Daniel, pale and trembling in the chair, then at her phone. 7 missed calls, 4 from Hoffman, 3 from Beth and 1 voicemail. Maya, where are you? The kids are here and Hoffman is furious. Call me back now. Maya sat down next to Daniel. You should go, he said quietly. I know. Then why aren't you? Maya thought about her own father who disappeared when she was Emma's age. Thought about the night she'd wondered if he was okay, if he was cold or if anyone helped him. Because someone should, she said simply. Daniel was quiet for a long moment. You're going to lose your job, aren't you? Probably. I'm not worth that. Maya looked at him, past the dirt and the stubble and the torn clothes. At the gray eyes that held something she recognized. Loss, loneliness and the specific emptiness of having fallen so far you've forgotten what the top looked like. Everyone's worth that, she said. They called Daniel back at 8:47 a.m. Maya had officially missed the first period, missed morning announcements, missed the Pledge of Allegiance in calendar time and the reading circle Emma loved. She'd missed her career, essentially. The doctor was young, competent, and exhausted, but he examined Daniel with gentle efficiency. 2 cracked ribs, deep bruising and possible mild concussion. He looked at Daniel with concern. You need proper rest and you need to avoid sleeping outside until this heals. You understand? Another fall could puncture a lung. Daniel nodded mutely. I'm writing a prescription for pain medication, but... The doctor trailed off meaningfully. You have no insurance and no money, no pharmacy would fill it. I'll take care of it, Maya heard herself say. After the doctor left, Daniel turned to her. You can't. You've already sacrificed so much for me. How much money do you have? Maya asked bluntly. Daniel's silence was her answer. Maya pulled out her wallet. $73, her grocery money for the week. She handed it to the clinic receptionist. For his prescription. Whatever's left, keep it as a donation. They sat on the bench outside the clinic. Daniel with his prescription, Maya with her phone which had finally stopped ringing. Maya stared at her messages, felt nothing, then everything. 7 years at Lincoln Elementary, gone. I'm sorry, Daniel said, his voice rough with emotion. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Maya put her phone away. I made the choice. Why? Why what? Why did you help me? You don't know me, I'm nobody. Maya turned to face him. You're somebody to somebody. Or you were, or you will be again. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. I once was. Something in his tone made Maya pause. What happened to you? Daniel was quiet for so long she thought he wouldn't answer. I had everything. Company, family, even a house in Riverside Heights. A wife and 2 kids. He laughed bitterly. I had a corner office with a view of the whole city. Maya's breath caught. What happened? My partner embezzled millions and made it look like me. Daniel's voice was flat now, reciting facts. Federal investigation and assets frozen. The trial lasted 2 years and I was acquitted eventually, but it didn't matter. I lost everything, my house, savings, everything. My wife took the kids and disappeared, getting restraining order based on lies. The lawyer said I could fight it, but I had no money left, no way to prove anything. He looked at his hands. I have been on the streets for 8 months now and I can't get a job because my face was all over the news. Maya felt her heart breaking. What was your company? Summit Financial Solutions. I was CFO, Daniel Westbrook. The name meant nothing to Maya, but the story, God. The story was everywhere, the kind of fall that seemed impossible until it happened. I'm sorry, she said inadequately. Everyone's sorry. Daniel stood carefully, wincing. Sorry doesn't change anything. But you actually helped. Most people cross the street, you stopped. He met her eyes. Thank you, Maya Smith, I won't forget it. He turned to leave. Wait. Maya stood too. Where are you going? Shelter on 5th Street opens at 3, I'll head there. Daniel, it's 9:30 in the morning. I'll manage. With cracked ribs? And nowhere to sit for 5 hours? Maya made a decision. Come with me. Maya's apartment was a small 1-bedroom for her and Emma with second-hand furniture, but it was clean, warm, and safe. Daniel stood in the doorway staring like he'd been invited into a palace. I can't, he said. You can rest here until the shelter opens, shower if you want. I have leftover pasta in the fridge. Maya. I just lost my job because of you. Maya's voice was firm but not unkind. The least you can do is let me feel like it mattered, sit down before you fall down. Daniel sat. Maya showed him the bathroom, gave him a towel, and heard herself say, there are some clothes in the hall closet. My ex-husband's stuff, you're about the same size. While Daniel showered, Maya sat at her kitchen table and opened her laptop. Bank account, $1,247, rent due in 6 days, $1,350, Emma's school supplies, $89, groceries, $0 and she'd just spent that. Prescription she'd just bought for Daniel, $58. The math didn't work. She opened job search sites, teacher positions, all required references, all would call Hoffman. Her phone rang, an unknown number. Hello? Ms. Smith? This is Tom Bradford from Channel 7 News. We heard about what happened this morning, a teacher who lost her job helping a homeless man. We'd love to interview you for our Good Samaritan segment. Maya's stomach turned. How did you hear about this? Someone at the clinic recognized you from Lincoln Elementary's website. Look, this is a great human interest story. Very shareable, we'd love to. No. Maya hung up. Her phone immediately rang again, a different number. She turned it off. Daniel emerged from the bathroom 20 minutes later, clean and shaved with the disposable razor she'd left out, wearing jeans and a button-down that actually fit. He looked different, almost like the man from the before photos Maya imagined existed. Thank you, he said quietly. There's pasta in the fridge. While Daniel ate like someone who'd forgotten what it felt like to be full, Maya's laptop chimed. An email from Principal Hoffman. Ms. Smith, your employment at Lincoln Elementary is terminated effective immediately for gross violation of attendance policy and failure to fulfill teaching responsibilities. Your final paycheck will be mailed. Please return all school property by Friday, Principal Hoffman. Maya read it twice, felt the finality settle over her like snow. Bad news? Daniel asked. Official termination. Maya closed the laptop. It's fine, I'll figure something out. No, it's not fine. Daniel set down his fork. Maya, this is my fault. Let me try to fix this. How? You're gonna magically get a new job for me? I know people. Before everything happened, I had connections. Daniel, those connections disappeared with your corner office. It's okay, really. Maya smiled, though it didn't reach her eyes. I'll find something, I always do. But even as she said it, she wondered if it was true. Daniel left that afternoon and Maya watched him walk down the street toward the shelter, his posture a little straighter, his steps a little steadier. She didn't expect to see him again. She was wrong. 3 days later, Maya was filling out her 7th job application when someone knocked on her door. A woman stood there, elegant, expensive coat and assessing eyes. Maya Smith? Yes? My name is Catherine Morrison. I'm an attorney, may I come in? Maya's heart sank. Had Daniel been lying? Was she being sued for something? Catherine sat on Maya's second-hand couch and pulled out a folder. I represent the Westbrook Family Trust, she began. Maya froze. Westbrook? As in Daniel Westbrook? Catherine smiled. You know him as Daniel, the homeless man you helped 3 days ago. I know him as my client and as one of the wealthiest men in the state before his very public fall. I don't understand. Everything Daniel told you was true. The embezzlement, the trial, losing everything. Catherine opened the folder. What he didn't mention was that the appeals court overturned the asset freeze last week. As of Monday, Daniel Westbrook regained access to his accounts. Approximately $47 million worth. Maya couldn't breathe. He's been searching for you, Catherine continued. That first night, you didn't give him your last name. He only knew your first name and that you taught at Lincoln Elementary. He called the school, but they wouldn't confirm your employment or termination. He also didn't remember your address. Why? Maya whispered. Why is he looking for me? Catherine smiled. Because Daniel Westbrook doesn't forget kindness. Especially not the kind that costs someone everything. She slid a check across the table. Maya looked down. $100,000. $100,000 for helping a stranger. If this twist just gave you chills, imagine how many people need to hear this story. Hit that subscribe button right now and help us spread stories of kindness and second chances to millions. Your subscription matters, it encourages compassion. Now let's see what Maya decides. This is a gift, Catherine said. No strings, Daniel's way of saying thank you. Maya pushed the check back. I can't accept this. Why not? Because I didn't help him for money, I helped him because he needed help. I know. That's exactly why he wants you to have it. Catherine pushed the check back. Maya, Daniel is rebuilding his life, his company, his reputation. He wants to create something meaningful, a foundation to help people who've fallen through the cracks. People like him, people struggling despite doing everything right. She paused. He needs someone to run it. Someone who understands what it means to sacrifice for others, someone with integrity. Maya's voice was barely a whisper. He wants me to work for him? He wants you to be the director of the Westbrook Second Chance Foundation. Salary, $120,000 annually. Full benefits and flexible hours for single parents. Catherine smiled. He was very specific about that last part. But I'm a teacher, I don't know anything about running a foundation. You know about compassion, about seeing people when everyone else looks away. That's what this foundation needs. Catherine stood. Think about it. Here's my card, call me when you're ready. After Catherine left, Maya sat holding the check, her mind reeling. Her phone rang, a number she didn't recognize. Hello? Maya? It's Daniel. His voice, God. His voice sounded different, stronger, like the man he used to be was emerging from the man he'd become. Catherine was just here, Maya said. I know, I'm sorry if she overwhelmed you. I just wanted to thank you properly. Daniel, this is too much. It's not enough, his voice was thick with emotion. Maya, do you know how many people walked past me that morning? Dozens. Hundreds over the past 8 months. People I used to know, used to do business with. They looked right through me like I didn't exist. He paused. You saw me, you stopped. You sacrificed your job, your livelihood, for a stranger. That means everything to me. Maya felt tears sliding down her face. I don't just want to pay you back, Daniel continued. I want to do something that matters. Build something that helps people like you and I. Like everyone who gets knocked down and can't get back up. His voice softened. But I can't do it alone. I need someone who gets it, who has lived it. I don't know if I'm qualified. You're the most qualified person in the world. Not because of your resume but because of who you are. Maya looked at the check, at her eviction notice on the counter that had arrived that morning. At Emma's permission slip for the field trip which was still unpaid. When would I start? She asked quietly. 6 months later, Maya stood in the lobby of the Westbrook building downtown. The foundation occupied the entire 3rd floor. 16 staff members, hundreds of applicants, dozens of families helped already. Her office had her name on the door, Maya Smith, Executive Director. Sometimes she still couldn't believe it was real. Ms. Smith? Her assistant Jordan poked his head in. Mr. Westbrook is here for your lunch meeting. Maya smiled. She and Daniel met every week to review cases, plan initiatives, and strategize outreaches. But over the months, the meetings had changed, started lasting longer, moved from the conference room to restaurants. It included laughter and stories and the kind of comfortable silence that comes from genuine friendship. Daniel appeared in her doorway holding 2 coffees. Thought you might need this, you mentioned that the grant proposal was keeping you up. He'd regained weight, the hollowness in his cheeks had filled out, his suits were tailored again, but the biggest change was his eyes. They held hope and purpose now. You're a lifesaver, Maya accepted the coffee gratefully. Funny, I was gonna say the same about you. They went to lunch at a small Italian place Daniel had discovered. Over pasta, Maya was teasing him about his sudden obsession with carbs when he suddenly got serious. I heard from my lawyer yesterday, the custody hearing is next month. Maya reached across the table, squeezing his hand. You're gonna get them back, Daniel, I know it. I hope so. His voice was tight with emotion. It's been so long, I don't even know if they'll remember me. They'll remember, kids don't forget their parents. Maya paused. Emma still asks about her dad sometimes even though he's been gone for 5 years. How do you do it? Daniel asked. Raise her alone, be everything to her? Because I have to, because she needs me. Maya smiled. And because she's worth everything. Daniel was quiet for a moment. Maya, there's something I've been wanting to ask you. Her heart skipped. The foundation gala is next month. It's a big donor event and I need someone with me, not just professionally but... He trailed off, suddenly looking nervous in a way that reminded her of the man in the alley, vulnerable. Would you come with me? As my date? Maya's breath caught. Daniel. I know it's complicated. I'm your employer technically and I don't want to make you uncomfortable. But Maya, these past 6 months, he met her eyes. You've become the most important person in my life. Not because of that morning, though I'll never forget it, but because of who you are every day. Maya's eyes filled with tears. I thought it was just me, I thought I was imagining. You're not, Daniel's smile was like the sunrise. So is that a yes? Yes. Maya laughed, wiping her eyes, it's absolutely a yes. The gala was magnificent. Maya wore a dress that made her feel like someone else, someone who belonged in ballrooms with champagne and chandeliers. But when Daniel took her hand, looked at her like she was the only person in the room, she felt exactly like herself. Emma was there too because Daniel had insisted. She wore a navy dress and spent the evening asking questions about the foundation, taking notes in a sparkly notebook. She wants to help people when she grows up, Maya told Daniel as they watched Emma interview a program recipient. She says you and I showed her that's what matters. Daniel pulled Maya closer. She's incredible, just like her mom. Later, as Daniel gave his speech about second chances and the power of kindness, he looked directly at Maya. 6 months ago, I had nothing. Not because I'd lost my money, that was already being restored. But because I'd lost hope, I'd lost my belief that people were inherently good. His voice thickened. Then a teacher stopped in an alley, sacrificed her career, saw me when everyone else looked away. And reminded me that sometimes the worst moments lead to the best destinations. The room erupted in applause. After the gala, Daniel walked Maya and Emma to their car. Thank you for tonight, Maya said. Thank you for that morning, Daniel replied. Then, softer. Thank you for every day since. He kissed her gently, and Maya felt something click into place. This was what she'd been waiting for. Not rescue, not a fairy tale transformation. But partnership and understanding, love born from seeing someone's worst moment and choosing to stay anyway. As they drove home, Emma asked, Mom, are you and Mr. Daniel boyfriend-girlfriend now? Maya smiled. Yes, baby, I think we are. Good. He makes you happy and he helps people, those are the important things. Maya thought about that morning 6 months ago. The choice to stop, the price she'd paid and the life she'd gained because of it. Sometimes being late is exactly on time. Sometimes losing everything is how you find what matters. And sometimes, stopping in the rain for a stranger is the beginning of everything. One moment of compassion can change 2 lives forever. What will you do when you see someone who needs help? If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe. We share real stories of kindness and second chances every week. Drop a comment below telling us about a time someone helped you when you needed help the most. Because the world needs more people like Maya.